Chappelle gave his friend, his friend who was white and transgender, who wanted to be a comedian, an opportunity to open for him. Dave Chappelle is one of the greatest to do it of our time right now. That was a huge opportunity for her. The LGBT community never reached out to give her any opportunity like that. But then they turned and said that he was transphobic, he was homophobic, all the backlash that he received from 2 or 3 episodes ago from specials. And she stood with her friend, the transgender woman, and stood against Dave to say, no, he's not like that. And the LGBTQIA plus community bashed this woman so bad that she jumped off a building and killed herself. Dave was not responsible for that. So who is? But Minister Farrakhan, let me tell you something. I listen to his teachings. Now, I'll never be a Muslim. They would never accept me with my presentation, my lifestyle. Understand? But I listen to his teachings because what I respect about Minister Louis Farrakhan, he don't teach me how to be black. I don't need nobody to teach me how to be black. But he reminds me that I'm a black person in this country. And when I tell you I listen to his teachings, I'm like, that player is on it. They always try to say he spews hate, and he spews love for women. He spews love for family. He spews love for who you are. You have to embrace who you are. Teddy Pendergrass said it the best. You can't hide from yourself. Everywhere you go, there you are.
That's right.
My community, the LGBT community, pretty much has kicked me out because I don't speak the language that they want me to speak. I created my own pronoun, and I want you guys to say it with me because I'm going to teach y'all some shit tonight. My preferred pronoun is he, she, we. He, she, we. He, she, we. There is a definition that means he cash a check, she make the money, we spend it. Same bitch said it, same nigga is it. He, she, we. You see that? He, she, we. Yeah. Because people always say, Flamin', how you identify? Bitch, I identify if the check clear.
Peace, family, brother. Rizza Isam here with another episode of the Intellectual Xtremist podcast. That is not a podcast. I know it has been a long time coming. Your brother has been in the middle of a lot of things. Life hits everybody. Okay, no matter who you are, no matter where you come from, life is life for everybody. But I'm very happy right now. I'm very happy because during this entire circumstance that we're looking at in the world, there are not enough voices speaking the truth in these heavily politicized arenas. So one of these circumstances happens to be the gender circumstance and LGBT issues and all these other different topics just affecting humanity. So I said, I don't know who else to bring on really other than this individual here who is one of the most unique, dynamic, stands on truth regardless to whom or what, and is just unapologetic about speaking the truth. So without further ado, Flame Monroe.
Hey. Hello, mister. How are you? Ooh.
I'm good. Come on, y'all. Clap.
Audience.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, I'm just honored to have you here.
I appreciate you having me here. I think that the optics of this will speak volumes, and hopefully we will reach and help a whole lot of other people who don't understand.
Absolutely.
Because I don't think it's fear. I think it's misunderstanding.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, as I was saying earlier, life hits us all. So one thing we really have to understand is just because life didn't hit you the way it's hitting me, don't mean I'm not getting hit. So I want to start this off by saying, we're going to go into the hard questions because anyone who knows Flame, you don't run from anything.
Well,
so, at least to my knowledge,
I'm not. There is no reason for me to be afraid. Acceptance is a blueprint that starts with you.
Absolutely.
I've accepted everything about me, and if you don't, you probably don't need to be in my life anyway.
Absolutely, absolutely. So first off, how do you receive being addressed? What is it that you would like to be addressed as?
Well, I've chose my own pronoun since my community has kind of parted ways with me. So my pronoun is he, she, we.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But he cash the check, she make the money, we spend it. You see all that inclusion?
Okay, I got you.
I ain't missed nothing. That's inclusion.
Okay.
So I'm so comfortable with who I am because I have male friends and female friends that sometimes they'll say she, or some of my male friends will say he, even when I'm in drag. I'm not offended by that because I know who I am. I know what I am. I have children. So a name is not going to change me. Plus, if you say it nasty, what you say to me has no bearing on what I say back to you.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
Because this mouth is cocked and loaded.
Right. That's a fact. Okay. So you said he, she, we. So so does that switch? So at times you identify as a man and a woman,
I'm always trans.
You always trans.
I always identify as trans experienced.
Gotcha.
Even though I take my makeup and clothes off, that don't take away who I am on the inside. But I am a father to 3 children. I have 3 children.
Wow.
I can't hide some things, but I can cover them up to protect my children from other people saying horrible things, because I can take it. I don't want to put my life on my children, even though we've had those issues, but they've all been trained by me.
There you go. And I was going to ask you about that. How is that experience for your children? Because again, like you said, you can take it. We can handle certain issues. We can handle certain backlash and fire. But when it comes to family, friends, children, etc., how is that?
Well, the responsibility of parents is to teach their children.
Yes.
You know,
say that again.
This is why we have so much controversy in the world right now of what this kid can do, what that kid. Who's in charge? I'm in charge in my home. Even when it doesn't look like it, I'll get angry. If my voice to get deep, I pull his wig off and I'm going after him. But somebody needs to be in charge. And the problem with these new generation, this younger generation, they're in charge. They run everything, because the mistake was, as a parent of my demographic, 50 plus, we wanted our children to have everything that we didn't have. Biggest mistake ever. We spoil them. They're entitled. They're ridiculous. They're out of control. And they have no work. A lot of them, not all, have no work ethic. They want everything given to them. Everything must be, you don't want to work for it.
This is true.
I mean, I teach my children, you got to work for it. This is my money. And the
Absolutely.
words of Diana Ross, she told her kids, this is my money. You got to go make your own money, but this is my money. And I tell my kids, this is my money.
No, that's true.
But they respect me, and their friends respect me. And this is all they ever knew. I didn't transition after they were here. They were conceived. I was like this.
Wow. See, this is why I'm so happy you're here, because these are the kinds of conversations that need to be had in true honesty, without emotions. It's like, no, I just really want to know, because as you were saying, you said, look, we are both black people. Okay. So first of all, that is the number one fight that we've had long before any other fight.
Right.
Okay. And then everything else falls after that. When it comes to you having children, and you said the parent is the one who gives the direction, who teaches the children.
Of course.
Nowadays, the United States government says, no, the parent is wrong. The child is the one who says, I feel this way and this is what I am. What do you have to say about that?
That's what we're facing now with the whole Bill 43, with canceling the drag shows. And to be very clear, make all the clarity, I support drag shows 100%, because there was a time in my life where all I did was drag shows to feed my family and to take care of myself. Now, the irresponsibility part comes on the parents, because when I was younger, we only worked in clubs, so you couldn't be a kid.
Right.
These new brunch thing with the restaurants and during the daytime, it is the parents' responsibility to say, I'm not taking my child to see this, or I'm going to explain to my child before we get here exactly what they're going to see. But they don't want to take the responsibility of it. They want to blame the artist. I don't know what I'm coming out to. All I know is I hear my name called, I'm coming to the stage. I don't know what's in the audience. It's also not the responsibility of the club owner, because they should say at the door, this is an adult-themed restaurant show. If you don't want your kid exposed to this, then you have an option of saying no or yes. The responsibility of the performer when it comes to drag performance came when they started doing that drag queen story time.
Yes, absolutely.
Here's where the artists, I hold them accountable. Because if you're reading to me, and I'm a 4 or 5 year old kid, and you're reading Little Red Riding Hood to me, if you dressed up like Mrs. Doubtfire or librarian or a character, it's safe.
Right.
But if you're sitting there with your ass out and your boobs, and I'm trying to listen to Little Red Riding Hoods, I'm not, because I'm fascinated at what the hell I'm looking at. That is when the artist has to say, no, these are somebody's kids. But when you don't have children, children's feelings are not important to you. Let me say that one more time for people who don't have kids.
Wow.
When you don't have your own kids that came through your loins, because I know you can adopt kids and love them, but if you ain't looking at your own eyes, looking back at you, there's a different level of love.
That is critical.
So the artist needs to be responsible and say, I'm not going to do this in front of these kids. Dress like a Mormon, the wig up here and the dress down to the ankles and showing no top. Because it's, it's just safe. I'm transgender. I do my kids know about everything. And I wouldn't allow my kids to see that at that age.
And they are, you said 16 and
2019 and 16.
Wow.
And 20 and 19, 7 months apart.
Wow.
I was busy.
That speaks volumes. Wow. Okay. And so on that note, because, and I'm so glad you said that, because that's really it. There's no hatred. It's irresponsibility. Same thing.
But it's on so many different people.
Absolutely.
And they want to keep blaming the artist. It's not the artist's fault.
No, it's a mixture.
When it's on that. But when it comes down to that story time, that is when you know you are dealing with children. But and let me just be very honest and very transparent. Before I had kids, I probably would have been cussing or something in the store, and somebody said, "Oh, Flame, don't say that. It's kids in here." I would have said, "They ain't my damn kids." So, and that was my youth, and I'm being very honest. I probably would have. I probably have said it.
That's real.
But then once I had my own children, I realized what was so important for my children to understand and not hear or see, that I could shield them from. The internet don't let you shield your children from anything.
That's true.
So here's the thing. You teach your kids before the internet teaches them.
Come on. Ooh, say that. Come on. Teach your children before the internet does. And on that note,
Are you a thinker, an intellectual, or are you an intellectual extremist? In these critical times we are living in today, a time we never imagined could ever exist, is our reality. How we maneuver in this dark drama we wish was a movie is crucial in order to live a life of peace, happiness, and integrity. The most important thing we need to remember is that we are not alone, and that's why intellectual extremists exist today. We all have different roles and responsibilities we can take part in, but what is essential within roles is having the equipment to stay fortified, shielded, and also to help others. By joining our Patreon, a way you can support and be rewarded for furthering the mission to provide survival skills both for intellectual, physical, and spiritual prosperity. We have 3 tiers on Patreon you can choose from. Join our Patreon and experience the wonderful exchange of giving and receiving. Let's light others' light with our light, something that is truly needed in these dark times. Join Intellectual Extremist Patreon today.
Dwayne Wade, Gabrielle Union, and I'm going to refer to the child as Zion, but they are now legally getting the name switched to Zaya.
Yes.
I believe, and he's 15 years young. What are your thoughts? And this is, again, we love our family, so that's not the problem. It's what, okay, we know the government is behind a lot of what's happening, right, as it pertains to funding things that are pushing the divide between parent and child. Okay, not directly the parent doing what they're doing. There is incentives. It's being pushed as if this is the best way to be. Oh, this is just all you. Don't worry about what your parents say. It's just all you. You are the star. You're this. And it's like, well, wait a minute. Who is benefiting here, really? Because as you said, the parent is who is supposed to be teaching the children. And we love our people, Dwayne Wade, Gabrielle Union. We don't hate our people. However, we're watching this and it's looking like your child is being, I would say, sacrificed up to public opinion more so than the teaching. And we know there's a lot of factors. So we don't know what goes on in the house. That's another thing that we have to be very honest about. We don't know what's going on in the house of any of our people, so we can't judge anybody. But it's just something that needs to be looked at when it comes to the responsibility of artists, since you brought that thing up there. So what are just some of your thoughts?
So before I multiply, add, divide, and subtract this situation, because I'm about to multiply, add, divide, and subtract this situation, I want to first commend Dwayne Wade and Zaya's, respectfully, stepmother, Gabrielle Union, for giving that child a safe place to call home. Definitely. Because when I was a kid, my mom didn't accept the gay and the trans. I was every sissy and faggot and don't switch and don't act like a guy. So the fact, and the world is already mean. So the fact that they have provided this kid with a safe place at home to be whoever she expresses herself to be, I commend that. Now, here's the other side. Here's the backside. Y'all want to get angry at everybody for having an opinion. When you open your blands, people look through your windows. Y'all publicly put that child on public display. Nobody else did that. So don't get angry because the court of public opinion will never fail. And will never stop.
Yes.
And the internet has catapulted to something else.
Yes.
So don't get angry at everybody for having their opinion. I just put a blog up on my Instagram page because they're going after Samora to say that Samora is transphobic. I personally know Samora. Samora has loved the gay kids and supported the trans entertainers, male and female, for 25 years. She made a joke that Zaya is a boy. FYI, Zaya is a boy. She is a boy. I'm going to say it respectfully. She is a boy. And that's not no dig or no read, but we live in a country where you can identify and live freely how you want to without all of this harboring. If you stop bringing the attention to yourself, sometimes you throw out a fish line and you bring it to you.
That's true.
I'm not inviting negativity into my DNA. And if I don't like you, you will know I don't like you because I'm going to say it. I thought that when they were on I love what Dwayne Wade said about his daughter publicly, but was it necessary is the question. She knows how you feel about her.
Yes.
Who's the seal at the circus here looking for a sardine? And then when Gabby got on with all of this, I'm a black trans woman for more than 30 years. I've been a trans woman.
You have the experience.
Go ahead. But as a black trans woman, I know what it is, and I know what comes with this. And when I was on the Breakfast Club, I said when this whole controversy hit, I said as long as they don't give that child hormone blockers or female testosterone at this age, because some things you cannot take back. I'm cool with them allowing her to express who she is and be what she wants to be, but y'all, they're getting angry at everybody because everybody's not on the train. I do not feel like black trans women of color or trans women of color are under this certain attack. I think sometimes some of us, not all, because there are people that will attack us just for being who we are.
Sure.
That you cannot get away from that.
Sure.
But to bring all of this, they're killing us, is an untruth. And what it is doing, it is putting a great cloud of doom that I don't even want to be affiliated with that, because I might get hurt in the process of just being around somebody like that. You cannot think that you can have it both ways. And so when she was doing all of that with the head and the acting, I'm like, is this an episode of Mary Jane? I'm looking at it like I'm thinking I'm watching an episode of Mary Jane, honestly. And we're being attacked every day. That's not true.
Right.
I walk around, sometimes with makeup on, sometimes with makeup off, all the time. And I don't mean mug. I'm friendly to people. And I am not a passable trans woman. You know I'm not a woman. But sometimes I think it's the way you carry yourself. And I think the problem with this younger demographic of trans women, and I say it trans women specifically, is that they are angry. And we keep sending the wrong representatives to the table to have a real conversation like we are having now.
Yes.
I don't have an agenda. I'm not angry. I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm just trying to get you to understand me.
Same here.
And I can understand you.
Same here.
This is how we will live together in the world. But what they're pushing and what they're forcing, and everybody is that's the newest word. Everything is phobic. Oh,
right.
I'm transphobic.
I was going to ask you that.
I'm transphobic and I'm transgender. Please tell me how the hell I'm transphobic and transgender. They love to holler. Flame, you're not a real trans woman. You're not a real trans woman.
Wow.
Keep telling me what I ain't, and I'm going to keep reminding what you ain't going to never be.
Oh, man. Ooh, okay.
This is mother talking. Come get it.
Man, look, Flame Monroe.
Yeah.
For a reason.
The one.
Wow. So, and you went right into the next thing I was going to ask you about, which is transphobia.
Yeah.
What is that? Because it changes, as you said, with every person.
The newest word that's out, the newest popular word, because it was problematic, and now it's transphobic, and now it's if you don't agree with what they say now, you're automatically transphobic. Wow. That is the most baffling thing in the world to me, outside of this country want to cancel books that teach critical race theory.
Come on.
But keep selling AR-15. So you want to stop selling books that teach us history, but keep selling rifles that make us history.
Oh, dang. Okay. All right. Come on, Flame.
I'm a pretty bitch.
Come on, Flame. Dropping the truth. Okay, you dropping it. Come on.
It's out of control. They're making trans people transphobic just because you. And here's the thing.
Wow.
As part of the LGBT community, we are the most opinionated. I always got something to say. But this new generation is the softest breed of egg I've ever seen.
Wow.
You can dish it out, but you can't take it. I don't understand that.
Come on. No, that's a fact. This is a fact.
So now everybody is, if you don't agree with something they said, you're hateful or you're transphobic. That don't make you transphobic. That means that and because you're a straight man and I'm a transgender woman, you may never understand my lifestyle. That don't mean you don't want to see me eat.
Right.
Of course. You just may not invite me to eat at your table, which is cool. But that does not mean that you wish me harm or ill will. You just, you over there doing your thing. I'm over here doing my thing. If we bypass each other, what's up, and keep it moving.
Right.
Acceptance, again, is a blueprint. We want acceptance from everybody else, and a lot of these younger generations of trans women that want acceptance have not. Let me say that very public. Have not accepted themselves. They have issues with, I was born in this body and I feel this way, but you live in America. You can live as what you want to. My biggest argument right now, Rizza, with my community is this whole black and gay at the same time, or black and trans. Your birth certificate says sex male black or sex female black. Everything else you becoming the component that you put on in your life, it may have been instilled in you, but you find it throughout your life. So don't come at me telling me I was born trans and black at the same time. Bullshit. Because Ahmaud Arbery was not killed for running down the street with rainbow shorts and a triangle flag.
Come on.
He had his black skin on him.
Come on.
What's her name on the freeway? They killed her in the prison. What's her name?
Oh my God.
I'm having a brain fart.
Our sister Sandra
Bland was not killed because she was a trans woman. She
Yes.
was killed because she was a black woman.
Yes.
What's his name? Trayvon Martin wasn't killed because he was a trans man with his hoodie on, or he was a lesbian. He was a black boy.
Yes.
And y'all keep arguing at me with this. They hung us from trees not because Lil Billy was fucking Lil David, but because Lil Billy and Lil David were both black.
Right.
And so that's not an argument for me. And I tell them all the time, don't miss me with that, because I'm not trying to hear any of it.
That's right.
So I am ostracized by my community. I am shunned by my community, but I am blessed by the Lord, so y'all can kiss my dick in the face. Can I say that? Oh, okay. Just want to make sure you know where we at.
You know what?
I know what it is.
These are real. These are the real conversations. You know what? This is why, again, they fear certain individuals who just speak the unadulterated truth. This is the kind of conversation that makes people come together, understand each other, and respect one another. Because, like, you know what? Thank you. All I needed was for you to tell me the truth. That's all I needed. Thank you. At least, even if, like you said, even if that means I stand over here, you stand over there, we know where each other stands, we respect it.
And what you said about as far as trans people and this and that, but I want to also put on the other side, because I'm very fair down the middle.
Definitely.
A lot of men run around here messing around with trans girls, because there are some beautiful, passable trans girls out here. But it's some things that you cannot fool. Stevie Wonder got 9 kids and 13 baby mamas. They never seen a vagina, and they never mistake one. Let me just say that, because y'all love to say, we had sex and I didn't know. A hard penis and a wet vagina don't look, smell, or feel the same. Ask me how I know I didn't have them both before I came. Anyway, so I don't like when men do that, because then it makes it look like, oh, she tricked me. You might be able to trick me physically, but sexually, you can't trick me.
Yes.
They don't feel the same.
And you know what? I don't know from experience, but I'm saying how this anatomy works biologically. There are a lot of things, to my knowledge, that a person who is post-op, who went through the full transition where they, had the surgery, bottom surgery, from my understanding. There are a lot of things you have to do because your body naturally is not made for that as a male, as a naturally born biological male.
Yeah.
So there are things you have to do to maintain that opening now.
Yeah.
So a man, a straight heterosexual man coming into contact with someone who now identifies as a woman, you can't just literally, since you brought that up, I don't know from experience, but how the anatomy works.
By the way, me either.
Well, there you go. So I just want to point that out. Yes, that's actual facts, just because of how
it is a lot of work. It is a lot of work to have an SRS. But when I seen the surgery, because you can go online and watch the actual surgery, and I'm telling you, I held on to my loins for 48 hours because I was petrified. I didn't even front, and I'm a trans woman. It scared the hell out of me.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And I know some sisters. I have some sisters that seem to be very happy with their SRS, but I also have some sisters that had some less than 2 years ago, and they are absolutely miserable.
Wow.
They are the most unhappy people, which is why now so many detransition groups are happening.
Yes.
It is so many, because that's why I was saying about Zaya Wade. 15 years old, your life happens to you in spurts. So from 13 to 17, you think one way. From 19 to maybe 26, you think another way.
Yes.
And then 32, 33 up, you think this is who I'm gonna be forever, possibly.
Yes.
But if you don't give yourself the choice or that option, you can't take it back. Once you start taking hormones, it shrinks your penis, it messes with your sperm count, you grow breasts, and your penis size at 15, your penis still growing. And who knows? Zaya may meet some little trans man, which is a guy, but he's born biologically a female, and he might, oh my God, I like this. I love trans men. Because people always say, I ain't never did that. Well, then don't tell me what you don't like, because if you ain't never did it, you don't know what you're missing, or you don't know what you possibly could be missing. So I just think that it's preponderous, and I'm gonna tell you the biggest mishap that has happened with SRS surgeries. Back in my era, the girls had to work for years to go to therapy, make sure that they were sure of this. And you had to pay the $30,000 out your pocket. But with insurance now, you can sign on the dotted line.
And that's it.
They swipe it off just like that. And hear me when I tell you, it's a novelty to some people, but it is a life-altering novelty, because from what I hear from my 2 girlfriends recently who just had it, they gave up way more than just their sexual organ. They can't even have an orgasm. Do you know how angry I would be if I couldn't bust? That ain't got nothing to do with identity. That got something to do with humanist life. I want to release myself when I need to, and I'm not willing to sacrifice that for anyone. Now, that's not to say that all girls can't. I don't want them to be saying, you don't know, and I don't know, and I will never know. Because I'm a slave. I didn't run away and they cut me and cut mine off. That's the choice you made. I ain't choosing it. That nigga staying right here forever. We gonna get old together.
We got Flame Monroe in here, just dropping the truth. This right here again. These are the things that people wish they could just talk about and hear honest truth about, and still have respect for who one another is. Because you brought up the detransitioning, and they just had a detransition day, I believe, a week ago, where they were in front of different capitals all across the country, and they were talking about they had a large amount of detransitioners who are not getting the support, they're not getting the airtime, as you know, because it's, from my understanding, it's shunned upon, it's looked down upon.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of them.
Which makes me think, Rizza, if you don't have your own mind, oh my God, thank you, Jesus, that I think for me.
Yes.
And you follow the masses and what looks popular at the
trends.
moment.
Yes.
So now you didn't cut the trans men and cut their breasts off, because a lot of them don't get bottom surgery because that's really complicated. They have not perfected that yet. That's as bad as these are damn electric cars.
No,
I ain't gonna say the name, but it begins with a T. Right. Anyway, you can't go back. It is forever.
Yes.
And I don't know if they have thought that long term. And if you're used to masturbating a certain way up until 17 or 25, and then you're trying to have to do it another way and nothing happens, and that's why I've heard a couple of so-called big name activists, I ain't gonna say their names, I would never give them that much pub, but they're pretty famous, say that I was born and the doctors assigned me a male. If you was born with a penis and testicles, you were born a boy.
Come on.
If you was born with a vagina, you were born a female.
Come on.
It's as simple as that. And now all that I was born transgender, how you know? You don't even remember coming out the damn womb. And if you was born transgender or gay, when the doctor slapped you on your ass, you'd have said, Miss Thing, don't touch me like that. But you didn't. You screamed just like every other baby does.
Come on.
That's
Come
it.
on.
Y'all
Respect.
making it so complicated and muddy in the waters. This is why the straight community don't understand us, because we're talking over you or around you or behind you or using words. I make it as ABC as possible. When you go to bed with somebody, do you want some penis or some vagina? You see how simple that is?
Right.
Identify as a tree, this ring light, or this computer. It's fine with me. Which one do you want? And it's okay if you want both. That's simple.
Hey, that's the truth.
I don't even understand all the alphabets that we didn't borrow. Because we didn't borrow the whole damn, everything but N and O, because all 24 other letters gone. We LGBT and all the other ones.
That's a fact, because actually if you look on the website now it's LGBTQQIAA++. That's the actual full acronym now, and then that has a bunch of subdivisions
Could have
in
went
it.
home and came back and you still would have been repeating.
It's a lot. I mean, really. So now on that, because oh man, you drop so much, and this is, again, I know a lot of people are going to they're just going to appreciate your courage and the truth.
Will be in my inbox sending me the most hateful death threats. I got death threats and everything.
Death threats?
They fucking with the right one. Let me just say that.
Wow.
But I have gotten death threats. I have gotten threats to my children. And when I did the Breakfast Club, when I did Date with Dave Chappelle, I got threats from my own community. So now the victims have become the bullies, have become the big bullies.
Wow.
Because they have shut me out of so many different things financially. I lost $170,000 after I went to Yellow Springs with Dave between then and now.
Wow.
In gigs.
Wow. To this
Because
day.
you're angry that I didn't say what you wanted me to say.
Right.
I see the whole world. I don't see this bubble.
Right.
It's
right.
a whole. I'm an American. You're an American. Whatever color we are, if you were born here, you're an American. Whatever nationality, size, shape, and I push that. That's the way they want to erase my past. Or you got to celebrate Juneteenth, not the 4th of July. Well, you didn't explain Juneteenth to me when I was a kid.
Right.
And our 4th of July was fireworks and the fire hydrant being turned on and catch a girl, kiss a girl. By the way, I always play the girl and I always got caught only by the cute boys. If you was ugly, I was running my ass off. I was Flojo. Good God. You wasn't catching me, you ugly ass. But that is the problem. To me, it has backfired. Because when President Obama allowed marriage equality and gay marriage, that was great for the gay community, for my community. That was great for us. But now we want to take and take. and take, even when you prepare a soup or a gumbo, you don't drop all the ingredients in at one time.
True.
It is gradually, but we don't want to take the steps. We want to kick the door open and say, I'm here, I'm queer, get used to it. Well, I don't like Brussels sprouts. I will never get used to eating I will throw that shit in the garbage.
Come on.
And if that's an easy analogy for y'all, I told you I'm ABC.
Oh, look, come on now. Man, let me see. You flowing right into every single topic that I'm going to bring up.
That was a pretty bitch.
Yeah. So, okay.
Not as lovely as your fiance over there.
Oh, I appreciate that. Let me say this. Trans women are women. What are your thoughts?
Trans women are trans women. And that's not said disrespectfully, because my era, we were transvestites, drag queens, you're a man in a dress. We fought to have the title of trans women.
Gotcha.
Respectfully, trans men are trans men. That is not even a disrespect. It's this younger, new generation, Z crazy, that it's not enough for. But let me just break something down to y'all real simple, because it looks like I've had some girls arguing with me. It's one girl, she is the angriest bitch on the planet. She should have kept her dick. She would fuck the shit out of some woman. Good God. Anywho, she loves to holler, a woman is a social construct. A woman is a... So if a woman is a social construct and we're emulating women, what would that make us? Social construction workers? To be truthful. And if biological women stop having sex, if biological women stop having babies, it won't be no more black, white, LGBT, fat, funny looking, or nothing else.
That's fact.
Because you can't get pregnant in ass. I tried both ways, by the way. But you can't. I know y'all ain't gonna like the way I put it to you in the box, but when you find the lie, stop me.
Yo, listen, you know what? Hey, intellectual extremist, and we getting extreme with the actual facts and the intellect. This is what we needed, and I think a lot of people are going to agree. Again, this generation, will say whatever needs to be said out of feelings, but not out of facts.
And because I have relationships with trans men that they're men, they identify as men, but they're biologically women. Yeah. They think that, Flame, you just pandering for the women. No, I know what a woman is. Woman is Mother Earth. We all came through the birth canal of a woman. And all female impersonators, transgendered, sex change, whatever, you did not learn how to be a female or act like a female watching somebody like you in a suit and tie.
That's a fact.
You learn from the woman that raised you, whether it be your mother, your auntie, your stepmother, whomever, your grandmother. That's who you learn how to be a woman from. So then, and as most young gay boys, I don't care what color they are, their best friend was always a biological girl.
That's a fact.
The first person they came out to was her. So she would say, ooh, because my legal name is Marcus. So when I was young, my girlfriend said, ooh, Marcus, I like David. I was like, ooh, girl, I like David too. So now I share my biggest secret. But then when I get so comfortable in my gay or my transgender or whatever I decide to become, or whatever's instilled in me, I'm better than you? No, I'm not better than you. You're still my sister. I confided something in you that I couldn't confide in my own mother.
Wow.
But I'm better than you now. That is the problem. We keep trying to dismiss women. You cannot dismiss a woman.
Right.
Life
or
would
compete.
Stop.
Right.
They tell me, well, they're making it where me and I wouldn't even want a goddamn baby that came from a tube. I already got two that came from my tube. Let me put the head in trigger has worked for years. Good God. And mind you, it worked for me and on me.
Oh, man. Okay, Flame. Okay. Let me ask you this. Men and women, when it comes to sports, should trans women be allowed, in your opinion, to fight, compete against, run against, swim against biological women?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
That's it in a nutshell. We are physically stronger, even if we take hormones or what have you. And I know a lot of my sisters get mad about that. But you know who did this shit? I'm gonna blame the ESPY Awards. The ESPYs did this. Y'all started this. Y'all cut the cord and released this ball by giving a bitch that became a woman in 22 minutes. That microwave Caitlyn Jenner became a woman in 22 minutes, discarding every woman that was in sports or any other thing by giving her Woman of the Year.
Yes.
It was disrespectful. And if you go back and look at that video and when they panned that audience, the faces were disgruntled, distasteful. But that was when the whole cancel culture and woke culture really kicked off. So if you say anything, they taking away everything. They have taken away many from me. You won't take this.
Wow.
You damn sure won't take this, and you'll never take this.
That's right.
I am like the Wiz, and I got the heart, the brain, and the courage.
Yeah, come on now.
And I will send your ass home.
That's right.
I'm just well.
Come on with it. Oh, come on now. That's real.
It is so unfair.
That is very real.
And when I saw that story about the swimmer maybe last year,
yes,
in Ohio, who ranked 530 something with the men,
yes,
but was #1 over the women.
Yes,
that was self-explanatory.
I think it was Riley Gaines and Leah Thomas.
That was
story,
You didn't need to go into a whole. This nigga beat these women. That's exactly what it was,
and was allowed to do it,
and didn't tuck his penis, walking around in the dressing room in the room with his junk out in front of my daughter. Even I'm transgender. I don't want my daughter exposed to that. That's as bad as y'all talking about the drag queens and hurting kids. The drag queens don't hurt the kids. The responsibility is on there. But see, they'll never want to look at it like that.
Right?
They don't.
Wow.
It is ridiculous. But I would never shoot down the drag shows. I made my living off of that. Drag shows are entertaining. Women love drag shows. Women adore coming to drag shows and drag the men along with them. Now, the men might be uncomfortable with some of them, but because of RuPaul's Drag Race, it has brought a big face to its regular. But now it is too much, and it's turning around. And the needle was moving forward gradually, but they moved it so fast that it's bent.
Wow.
And it's scary.
Wow. Woo. Okay, you dropping
scary.
you putting it all out here. Thoughts on, I just thought about this, but because you brought up something very critical with the drag queen reading hour, your thoughts on Billy Porter becoming the fairy god person. So taking over Whitney Houston, who was a fairy godmother in Cinderella. Before Whitney Houston was someone else who was always a fairy godmother. Now he is the fairy god person, calling himself the Fab G. And he said the children, I'm quoting his words from one of the interviews about that. He said, the children are ready. It's the parents that need to catch up. End quote. What are your thoughts?
The children are not ready. And the parents are in charge. And of course, Billy Porter would say that he has what? No children. Again, when you have no biological children of your own, that's not to say that you couldn't love an adopted kid or your nephew or your niece, but when you see your own eyes looking back at you, you have no idea. People always say, I'll die for my kids. We don't want you to die for us. Would you live for your kids? Is what should be said.
Wow.
Because I sacrificed who I was just to make sure that my children had as much normalcy in their life as possible. With the whole Billy Porter thing, I think Billy Porter is very talented. I think that Billy Porter had caught a wave and a platform that people wanted to hear right now, and he's riding high on it. Do I think that that's truth? Absolutely not. I just think that he's riding high on the platform that he has garnered.
Definitely.
And it is profiting him and everybody around him in a major way. But when they want to pull the plug, they will pull the plug. And what people are not seeing is that the throw the rock and hide your hand situation syndrome is happening. Divide and conquer is happening. They are dividing us, LGBT community. They're putting the trans over here and the gays over here. Meanwhile, the GOP is moving this needle forward and forward and forward. They're going to use the kids, transgender kids, what we're doing to transgender kids, to get back in office.
That's right.
Because if Trump had his way, let me say this because I said it on Bay Ready in 2019 on my special. Donald Trump is trying to completely eradicate the transgender community. I don't know what it is with it ain't the gays. He is trying to move a train and put us like the Jewish community. I believe if he could, we would all be in ovens.
Wow.
And guess what I am? Even though I don't even speak like the majority of my community that's against me, I'm still transgender. If he put up all of them on the train, guess where I'm going? I'm going on that train.
I understand. I definitely understand.
That's why I'm afraid of. That's what I'm afraid of, because I don't want to be labeled and put in the same thing that you are when you don't see the whole world. I respect people.
Right.
I do your thing. I'm not knocking what you're saying, but so many people always got something to say. He's with Zaya Wade. Everybody got something to say with Zaya Wade. I didn't like that. I do like the fact that they're letting her live her life, but even with Magic Johnson and his son, they kept EJ on the low until EJ got grown and was able to handle all that was coming on.
Right.
I don't know what's happening with Zaya. Maybe she just experienced who she was younger, and I love that Dwayne and Gabby are letting her be who she was. But don't get mad at people for saying that, because y'all exposed that to that. You don't know what's happening in my house unless I show you.
That's true. That's true, and that's one major.
But they
thing.
don't want to take responsibility for that. They want to blame everybody else.
Yes, and that's the thing when it comes to being an artist, celebrity. You get known. Too many people often I hear them say, "Well, I'm not a leader." And, I didn't sign up to be a leader. I play basketball. I do movies, etc. I'm not a leader. And it's like, well, no, what you do does shape people's opinions. They look up to you. People they're inspired by what you do. Whatever it is, if it's comedy, if it's acting, if it's basketball, there are people who look up to that topic and they look at you and they want to do what you do, be like you. So whatever you do, they tend to want to emulate. So, we are being looked at. Same as Flame is being watched. I'm being watched. There are people watching. All you watching.
I heard they watching you. You just got off the look. They really watching you. I don't want y'all to put me on that list.
Right. Oh, you good. You all right.
Oh, Rizza, you know what that is. I love that you said that because even I had to evolve. I'm trying to get better with the terminology, but it's so confusing to me. I'm still lost on gender non-conforming and I don't know. I don't. And let me say, I'm not ignorant.
Right.
But if you don't explain it to me to where I can understand it, because some of this stuff is even going on over my head, and I've been transgender for 33 years.
Wow.
So I don't know. Right. I don't know what they is or them. I don't understand why people. So my joke on stage is, they. Oh, now I know who they is because since you've been a kid, your mama say, what they said about you. Oh, so that's the they.
Right.
Oh, they've been around a long time. Oh, so that's who they is.
Right.
And I say that jokingly, but I'm telling you, if it's difficult for me, who's part of the community and in the community and transgender, to understand, imagine what it's like for you or your fiance to understand. On the outside, you don't know, you ain't even got past the titties and the penis yet. So now I'm really, I'm referred to as they, them, and those. What?
Wow.
What kind of edible you had? Please send me one. Good God.
And you know what? In Europe, because my question was, again, where are all these variations? And now everybody's focusing on pronouns. I'm like, you don't know nothing about no prepositions, no idioms, no conjunctions, and none of that. But you're saying pronouns, this. I said, where did this come from? So I looked, and turns out over in Europe, they were coming out with this 100 genders. You heard about this? 100 genders, not 2, not 12.
I thought I was messed up. I got 2 different ones. Damn.
So
what's the other 98?
Exactly. There's a whole list, and I'm talking about this stuff is so crazy. They have something called two-spirit person, pangender. They have something called
crockpot gender.
I'm telling you,
gender.
Oh my God, it's
Dutch
so many.
oven gender. Good
Seriously,
God.
no, it might be on there. But the crazy thing is, the people who came up with that list were school teachers who interviewed 100 people. And all these different people said that they were a different gender, and they gave them this name of these different genders. So it literally came from 100 people who just made up whatever label they could, and they put that as a legitimate, gender on a list, and they came up with 100 genders.
Again, who thinks for you?
Exactly.
I teach my children to think for them. I tell my kids, my favorite movie in the whole world is The Wizard of Oz.
Wow.
Because of all the lessons in that movie. Black people, The Wizard of Oz is speaking to us.
It's a critical movie.
We are looking for a heart, a mind, and a courage just so we can get back home. Because we were taken from our home. Not by a damn a tornado either. It was on a ship. I wasn't there, but I heard about it.
Come on.
If you get the right books, as long as you're in Florida, you can still hear about it. I said what the hell I said.
Go ahead.
But I teach them that because you got to know who you are. You got to think for yourself. You don't got to. I remember we live in a pretty affluent Caucasian neighborhood in Long Beach. All my kids' friends are pretty much Caucasian. But I always remind them, if the police pull y'all over, you the nigga in the car.
Yeah.
Don't do what they can get away with. You cannot.
That is a fact.
And I hate to say that in this 2023, I still got to teach my black children that.
Right.
That is why I say I'm still a parent. Right. I'm still somebody, and I have to show them what I need them to know. And they're like, no, it ain't like that no more. That it's damn show like that.
Yes,
and
it is.
Living Proof was last year when me and my children sat together and watched the 8 minutes and 46 seconds. Watch George Floyd die. I made my children watch that with me, and I shed tears like a baby. But they were like, Dad, why you crying? Why you crying? I said, because I didn't think that I would have to experience this in my lifetime.
Wow.
And let alone my children experiencing this. I thought this was done with Jim Crow in the 50s.
Right.
That they seem to be trying to bring back.
That's a fact too.
Y'all ain't paying attention. You better listen. See, y'all slept on Stacey Abrams. Because what Stacey Abrams come with is facts. And she's always cool temperament, and she always got it done. The black woman is the most powerful woman on the planet, powerful thing on the planet. Let me just say that. And I'm gonna tell you, if you don't believe me, 2 situations happened. Same situation, 2 different people, black man and black woman. Stacey Abrams lost the governorship in Georgia, went to the battlefield. Andrew Gilliam, lost in Florida, went to the hotel room with another man. I'm just saying, life is choices. And I still like Andrew Gilliam. I still like his politics. You know, his wife knew exactly what was going on, but because he got caught, he let his guard down. You don't even hear from him anymore. He was a great politician. That was just his thing. But we look at people sideways because everything is bad. If his wife accepted who he was and why he was the way he was with 3 kids and she was still married to him, why shouldn't we?
Critical points, very critical points. And I know, I don't know too much about his politics. I knew some of the things he was doing, which were good.
I knew a little too much after I saw him naked. I'm like, I don't need to see all that. Yeah. Keep your drawers on, player. Keep your drawers on.
We're going to wind this thing down in a second here because we ran through this.
You know I'm a talker. You came to see me at the show. You know I'm a talker.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? Let me bring that up, too. Oh, see, look, let me say this to y'all. Just so y'all know, your brother Rizza, I'm a black man. At the end of the day, I love our people, and I do what I feel is necessary to help our people to expose the system, how it's going after us, and to provide solutions to help you to get out of it. It's really that simple. It doesn't matter what you call yourself, whether you're Republican, Democrat, you say you a black Hebrew Israelite, Nation of Islam, God on earth, if you're a Pan-Africanist, whatever you call yourself, Christian, Muslim, none of it matters to this system. So we have to see ourselves as one people. So I say all that to say, I love comedy. I don't know why y'all think your brother's so uppity and uptight. I love comedy. Flame invited me to the show. I said, first of all, I'm in town that night. I'm showing up. And I showed up and it was hilarious. It was hilarious. All the comics who came up were hilarious. And of course, Flame was hosting and you did your thing. It was hilarious. I loved all the different, just everything, how you interact with the comics and the people. And Flame came up in a different outfit every segment. Now that was funny. I said, "Dang, you know what you're doing."
I was having my Dinah Roast 1981 at the Music Awards moment. But you know what? With my co-host Memphis Will Rizza, what we do is, because he's a straight guy and I'm transgender, and we banter with each other, we joan on each other. We talk. I talk about his fat. He talk about me being a trans one in a fun way. It's never mean spirited. Right. And hopefully we're showing that we can bridge this gap. That it don't need to be us and them. We just people. Right. People so uptight about that, and it's so crazy. And I'm telling you, the backlash I got when I took a picture with Lil Boosie at the Breakfast Club. Ooh. When I tell you that, baby, they was, mind you, the interview hadn't even dropped. I just took a picture with him. So, and I know Lil Boosie's reputation. I know the things that he have said publicly. So we just happened to pop up at the same time because it was during Corona. We had to get tested, and you were one of the main people who I watched doing that. Remind me to bring that back up to you.
Absolutely.
That edible movement. And I was talking to his manager, who was clearly openly gay. Not only was his manager gay, this nigga had the feathers, the sequin cape, and the S on his chest with rhinestones. That's how gay he was. Wow. So all that they were saying that Boosie didn't like gays and he was nothing could have been further from the truth. So I went to the manager. I said, "Oh, you think it'd be okay if I asked Boosie, could I take a picture?" So Boosie heard me. He said, "No, baby, you can ask me." I knew how he talked, and I wasn't sure. So out of respect, I went to the manager. So he said, "Come on over here." So I went to put my arm around the nigga. Head only came to the left titty. He put his arm around me, he called me baby, called me her and she. He said, "Damn, you smell good, baby." Was so respectful. So he was like, "Why you didn't go off on him?" Because I treat you the way you treat me. Simple. I don't demand your respect. I command your respect. You will treat me the way I treat me, or the nigga will show up. And he right up under this hat. This hat just got hair on it.
I'm glad
I tell you, remind me of.
And you said during that, because of Corona, you were getting tested for that. And you were watching
I had 133 tests before I tested positive for COVID.
Wow.
But I was refused to take the vaccine because I was, first of all, during the 80s pandemic, Dr. Fauci was the same doctor in charge of AZT. I went to 7 funerals in a week one time.
Wow.
Because all of my friends were taking AZT and dying.
Wow.
AIDS might have been eating them up, but the AZT took them out.
Yeah, that's fact.
And my sister, may she rest in peace, Tasha Thomas, say, "Flame, if you ever catch it, don't never take AZT." Wow. And I thought he never got accountability for that. And I remember the female doctor that was working with him, and they had her locked up. People forget. Black folks, we damn sure forget.
That's true.
He had her locked up because she was going to tell the truth. Because here it is, Big Pharma. The truth is, the money is not in the treatment. I mean, the money is not in the cure. The money is in the treatment. If I can keep you sick and you keep paying for it, you'll be sick your whole life.
That is a fact.
But your money will never stop. It'll be like bills. They'll never stop. You be dead, the bills still come.
That's a fact.
And so I knew that. So I never trusted. And so when he was on TV, when Trump had a damn press conference every single damn day, and with Dr. Birch over there, the female doctor at the time who disappeared all of a sudden, Trump was clearly lying to our face. So it's just going to go away and woo, 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 woo. When he said that and Anthony Fauci put his hand up and started laughing, I felt like he was laughing at the American people.
Wow.
I did
That's
not
critical.
feel like he was laughing at Trump.
Wow.
He was laughing at us because he was afraid to lose his situation. He was afraid to lose his stature. But at the cost, we lost 7 million and counting people during COVID.
That's a fact.
So when I watched you, I was like, I'm not taking it. It was too many warp speed.
Come on.
Overnight. I'm like, don't you cook crack in the kitchen in 13 minutes? I ain't never smoked crack, but it sounded like a crack situation.
Come on.
And maybe because I'm old school and I got a little common sense, which is missing in the world, I was like, I'm not taking this. I didn't even allow my children to take it. We were never vaccinated. I never took it. Everybody I know who has been vaccinated, who has been triple 19, 27,
Boosters.
37 boosted, keep catching COVID or have lost something even more substantial. Something that's gone. One of their senses is just completely gone.
Wow.
I had an elixir, thank you Tiffany Haddish in common, because they knew an herbal doctor here in LA. I took the elixir. I had lost my sense of taste, but I had one taste bud. It found it. Oh my God, it tasted like dog ass. But 24 hours later,
There you
I was
go.
COVID free. Now, it took me a minute to heal and recuperate, but I was real protective. And I love that you stood on that, because when I watched you, I was like, this brother, no. And you might not have been right, but I felt right. Which was
Absolutely.
important to me. I didn't care that I lost jobs. I lost major gigs. I lost a movie with Tina Fey because I wouldn't get vaccinated.
Wow. You said you lost a lot of gigs.
I lost a lot of gigs because they wanted you to be vaccinated. It wasn't enough just to get tested and test negative. They wanted you to have the shot, the dab. I did have the shot. I invested in Moderna when it first hit at $35 a share. When I took my money out, it was $365. Ain't they getting hit in my account?
That's a fact.
I did invest in Moderna.
That's a fact. And to let you know, to give you a quick update, everything that we said was going to happen has happened. They have brought Fauci to court. They brought the former director of the CDC, Robert Redfield, to court. They asked him, they asked the former director of the CDC, do you believe that Anthony Fauci lied when he said that we did not do what is called gain of function research, where you're making a virus become more able to jump from animal to human being, to make it stronger to attack, the body of the human being. And the former director of the CDC said, yes. He said, no, I strongly know that we did invest money in that. And they say, yeah, he said, yes, I do believe he lied. Yeah. And all of it is coming out now. The scientists are coming out with it. They have banned the shots from multiple countries all over the world. Yeah, absolutely. Come on,
if you think for you,
yes.
Because I went to see the Wizard. Yeah. I was so gangster by my mouth, the nigga gave me the job. I am the Wizard.
Come on now.
I'm passing out brains, hearts, and courage.
Come on now.
But I just didn't. And I'm going to tell you what really got me. When they kept saying it came from monkeys, I was like, well, how many huge artists have had monkeys? Michael Jackson had Bubbles for years. He ain't never, and I'm sure Bubbles done bit the shit out of him once or twice. He ain't never come up with monkeypox. He got light skin, but he damn sure didn't come up with monkeypox. Yeah, no. It was too many things that I could look at and be like, ooh, that don't. And then it went from warp speed to biofreeze to sit in the sun to 3 days of I'm like, that's too much for me. And if it's one disease, why do we need 3 different types of shots?
That is a fact.
That was the biggest scare for me right there. And then when I watched them giving away gift cards and hundreds of dollars, I'm like, they don't give black folks in this country nothing but a hard time.
Come on.
I'm not taking that shit. I said it publicly. Got my ass handed to me too. I'm still here to tell the story.
You're still here. And you know what? And let's make this very clear to all of you who took it because you were threatened with losing your job. You only had your income. We understand.
I'm not judging you.
Oh, of course not. No, of course. And we know that's because some people thought that's how I was. And I said, no. First of all, black folk got hit when it came to being promoted to, number one, because they're used to us falling in line with the nonsense. So they were promoting that we needed the most and we're the most negatively affected. All this kind of stuff.
Oh, no, not originally. Originally, it was just like AIDS.
Absolutely.
Black folks couldn't catch it.
Right.
Because when AIDS first hit in 80 and 81, when I was in Chicago, it was, you could only catch it if you was a white man going to the bookstores and having sex in the bathhouses. I was never a bookstore or a bathhouse queen. I was a hoe and I liked alleys. So I was never going to catch it. But then all of my friends, it was like dominoes. They just started, and
Yeah.
I was heartbroken. And Anthony Fauci,
Same.
when I heard his name,
Yeah.
I said, that's it.
Yeah. He was protested against back then. Heavily. There
He
were
was.
large protests. I watched videos, and as a researcher, I dug deep into this thing. Anthony Fauci's face was disgusting to everybody back then. I mean, he was plastered all over the place. We can't trust him. He's killing people. And he was the main one, AZT. We should take that. And of course, they came out with the research showing that it was killing people, damaging the liver, damaging.
Let's be truthful what they said back in AZT in 81. They said AZT will kill AIDS. It did. They forgot to tell you that it kills everything in your body, and then you.
That's a fact.
It wasn't even worried about the AIDS. It was shutting down pancreas, livers, gallbladders, everything. I watched my girlfriend lose her whole stomach.
Wow.
Baby, and I've been taking AZT. She wasn't that sick until she started taking AZT. That's the truth.
Same thing with the shots now. And that's what they're seeing. This is happening all over the place. So again,
please push that, Rizza, because I don't want people to think that I'm judging, because you took a shot. The decision was yours.
Yes.
My decision was for me not to take it.
Yes.
I don't judge you. I don't knock you. I don't want you judging me.
Of course not. No, and that's real simple. And a lot of people, they were real good with their convincing. They were real good. You
couldn't turn on the TV without it.
Oh my God, it was good. And like you were saying, the incentives, the free donuts, they were giving away. They were giving away. Okay, I'm gonna tell you how far they went with this. Since you brought this up, over in certain parts of Europe, they were giving you free 30 minutes free with a prostitute. In certain parts of Europe,
if you might not have caught COVID, but you damn sure might have caught something else. I would have caught a case. Oh my God,
it was crazy. It was crazy.
And because I'm a little older, and why as they always say, Flame, you too old. I say, absolutely not. You're too young. You'll never know what real life is, because your whole life is lived on the apparatus.
Yes.
Your whole life is on the apparatus. I know what it is to talk to people and engage with people and hang out with. I know what it is to touch and interact. They'll never know. But when I was listening to all these different components, I'm like, why are y'all just really trying to get this out? We never reached herd immunity. I knew we were never going to reach herd immunity, because it was too many Republicans that was not going to take it. And I said what I said, and they were very vocal and verbal about it. So I'm like, we'll never reach herd immunity. But I just knew it wasn't for me. I sprayed everybody with Lysol, because the Lysol can say it long before Corona came out, cures coronavirus.
It did say that. And I was one of the first people who brought that out, and people went crazy. And I said, wait. I said, coronavirus is an ever evolving virus. It's been around for so long, and there's different strains of it. So when people are like, yeah. I mean, that was good. It was a good point. But there was a lot going on, and they used every single way to manipulate the people, put them in fear, then incentivize them, then attack those who didn't take the incentives, then paid all the artists and celebrities, as many who would, get it. And now everybody's quiet about it. Virtually every single person.
My son, my 20-year-old son now, got a full 4-year scholarship to Tennessee State University.
Oh, that's beautiful.
For engineering. We own our place. He's brilliant like his dad.
Come on now.
His
there you go.
Wear dresses. And he got a for electrical engineering.
Wow, that's powerful.
And he graduated from Sato. Graduated with his high school diploma and his associate's degree at the same time.
Wow.
Went there for 1 semester, made the dean's list, lived in the dean, and they told my son that they wanted him to take the vaccine in order to stay. He called me. He said, "What should I do, Dad? Pack your shit and come home."
There you go.
My son only did 1 semester at TSU. He is now working 2 jobs, living at home with me. He was not vaccinated, and I'm telling you right now, I don't regret it at all.
Wow.
I do not.
Wow. That's. I mean, I can't express, the deepest level of respect, because again, so many people just didn't know. They genuinely did not know.
Oh, you just take me to a Harriet Tubman moment. She said, I would have freed a lot more of my people, only if they knew they were slaves.
That's a fact.
A lot of y'all just will not understand that this country was not set up for us to ever blow up. I know you see all these millionaires, billionaires that look like us and woo. Trust and believe. When they want to take it away, if you need one example, Kanye West. In 35 minutes, he went from a billionaire to whatever.
Come on. That's a fact. That is a fact.
Banks are failing. Are you not paying attention to what is happening in this country? Banks are failing. They're trying to take away the books that will teach you your history, so you won't remember what they did to our people. Our people, because I wasn't around then. I know y'all think I was. I wasn't. Because if you whip me, I'm going to whip.
Come on.
This ain't that kind of show.
Look.
But we get so sidetracked because of the money.
Absolutely.
The fame.
Absolutely.
The power of,
Yes.
I got the most followers. I got the most likes. I don't need you to like me.
Come on.
I like me.
Come on.
Boom.
There you go.
And I'm going to work because I'm talented and I'm honest. And I'm going to show up looking good and smelling good and I'm going to do the job. You know, I might not remember doing the job, Joe Biden, but I'm going to get the job done.
And you
y'all
do it
keep
well.
attacking my president.
Right.
Talking about, I don't give a damn if he's 200 years old. Y'all had one that was younger, and you see what the state the country's in right now. Joe Biden might be old and rickety, but he's doing the job. He's experienced. Sometimes seasoned work.
Wow. See, look.
I'll vote for him again.
Okay.
If he was 300, I'm voting for his ass.
If it's 300.
And both my names, the man and woman, we cheat.
I'm so happy that you stopped by, Flame. Let me end with this last thing here. Prisons.
Ooh.
Jail.
Ooh. I've been there, done that.
You've been there? Okay. They are now petitioning a lot of men. There's over 230 men who are petitioning, who are registered sex offenders, petitioning to be transferred to female prisons because they are saying they are a woman.
Transgender.
They're transgender.
And that is what this new breed of transgender has done. So now anybody can throw a wig on with a full beard and say, I'm transgender. They just had a story came out earlier this year or last year of a transgender, a guy. This was clearly a damn man. Said he was transgender and impregnated 3 other female.
I was about to bring it up. There you go.
And so now anybody can say I'm transgender, and it is out of control because transgender used to be not an art but life. You had to live the experience. And we go back to the microwave tranny. ESPY Awards gave Caitlyn Jenner, who had been a trans woman for 18 minutes, Woman of the Year. So it made it okay, especially coming from white America.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know, blacks are always the last to catch on. So we watched that and I was like, oh, it's okay. It's not okay.
Right.
It was disrespectful to women. It was disrespectful to female athletes. It was disrespectful. First of all, y'all should never get a bitch Woman of the Year because that was the ugliest dress I ever seen. I wear cute dresses. I should have got it for her. Shit. Anyway, but that is what has opened up this plethora of everything. And it is out of control.
Yes.
They had a guy on the internet who went into the women's bathroom, full beard, deep, I'm a transgender woman. And no, you're not. You put if transgender women put effort into their beauty, to their look, transgender men put effort into looking masculine. And my friend Samson McCormick, comedian Samson just did a big interview with Comedy Hype because the transgender community are now, open gay comedian for 20 years, now they're labeling him transphobic because he said, I will call you what you want me to call you, but put some effort into looking like what you want me. So if you was walking around here, saying I'm a transgender woman, I'm looking at you like this.
Just like this.
I would say, nigga, if you don't knock it off, because that's not what you're giving me.
Exactly. Right.
And they get angry. No, y'all have made it open to everybody. So, and respectfully for this country, they have so many bathrooms now that's all gender or no gender. Right. And I'm like old school. If it's pants or a skirt on the door, if I got to pee, the pee ain't gonna wait. Is it a toilet and a sink? Because I'm going in. I don't care who in there.
Right.
But I don't go in the bathroom to cause friction. Right. And if I had a 4-year-old daughter or son, and I'm in the women's bathroom, because when I was young, I would have to take my daughters into the women's bathroom, even with no makeup on, because they were little girls. But nobody looked at me sideways because I carry myself in a different way. Sometimes it's not about the look. Sometimes it's about the way you carry yourself.
Absolutely.
But they have made that was ridiculous. That bitch looked like the Quaker Oats man. When I saw her, I wanted a bowl of cereal. I was like, pass me the cinnamon and the sugar. Good God.
And he was in the Wheaties box when he was a track athlete.
Oh, I ain't even talking about Kayla. I'm talking about the one that was in the bathroom.
Oh, that recently. One now. Okay.
And here's the thing. Are we looking for that attention? Because with all these establishments having all gender bathroom, or go to the baby changing bathroom. You know, even if you don't have a baby, because it's one toilet, you can lock the door, nobody has to know. Right. Sometimes I think we seek the attention. We're looking for the backlash so we can cause a controversy. Oh, because you're gonna get 1,000 likes on YouTube or Instagram. I don't know 1,000 people. I don't give a damn about your likes. I need a check. I got kids. I don't need your likes. I need your money.
Come on. Flame Monroe. Oh, long overdue.
Rizza, I'm so glad you're back. I'm so glad that you stood your guns.
Thank you.
You stood in your man. And that's not manhood. You stood in your man just like I watch women stand in their women.
Yes.
And a lot of people miss what I be saying about that. That ain't got nothing to do with gender. That's who you are.
Yes.
You stood on that because you knew that you were right. I don't fear nothing when I'm right. When I feel like I'm right, I fear nothing.
That's right.
But if I'm wrong, I'm not too big to apologize.
Absolutely.
And if you want to teach me, then you talk to me respectfully to teach me because I'm willing to learn.
Absolutely.
But if you talk to me crazy, you do not know crazy like Flame Monroe. And if you want to see crazy, you can catch me every Monday at Free Voices at the Hollywood Laugh Factory.
There you go.
March 31st through April 1st, I will be at Tommy T's in Pleasanton, California. Get your tickets at the website or go to my Instagram page at Monroe Flame. And May 4th through 6th, Cinco de Mayo, I will be in Yonkers, New York at Yonkers Comedy Club getting drunk with all the Latinos, baby. Get your tickets on the website. We're going to have a great time. If you have a weak constitution, if you're easily offended, please don't come to my show.
Come on.
Because I do not care about your feelings.
I have been there, and yes, absolutely. It will be honored just like that.
And it's truth to power. We laugh.
Yes.
I may say some of the harshest things, but I always close it with a funny because it's easier to receive.
That's fact.
It's kind of like the virgin effect. When you want to break a virginity, you slap her first, and it kind of distracts. You know, kind of like what the country doing to y'all now. It's distraction. Pay attention to the infrastructure.
That's right. 6
train derailments with chemicals that will wipe out neighborhoods and towns.
Come on.
In 4 months. Or 3 months. Please play airplanes, the blank boards going blank. Y'all wonder whether they got in that infrastructure. Hear me and hear me well. I love that Biden is standing for Ukraine because I think that Ukraine's president is a gangster. But if Ukraine get in bed with China, because what y'all keep forgetting is Biden is trying to repair allies that Trump broke. He made a lot of people run from America. We are actually sitting ducks right now. Because if 2 different people get together, and when they keep hollering nuclear, when they holler nuclear, they trying to raise prices. Because everybody knows if one country shoot a nuke, everybody has to shoot nukes.
That's fact.
So that's just the truth. Please do your research. Read, people. Just read. Just research. You know, the Google that fucked up the research.
That's
I'm
true.
old school. We had to get encyclopedias.
That's
you had
right.
to go
Books.
carry all the books from one.
Yes.
And you know, we was poor, so we only had like A through M. And we had to borrow the other ones from the neighbors.
Right.
But people don't research. They go to Google. Google
Yes.
will tell you. Google is set up by the government.
Absolutely.
Government wants you to know what they want you to know.
That's why we use DuckDuckGo over here.
I'm just letting y'all know.
That's a fact. Flame Monroe, y'all. Make sure.
Rizza, thank you.
Yes.
Please understand, ladies and gentlemen, this is a trans woman speaking to a Muslim brother. I understand the misunderstandings, and I'm trying to teach my brother what he does not understand about a trans woman. I'm just a trans woman that's fair. I'm just talking to you. I know everybody won't have. Now you won't have this conversation with every other trans woman.
I believe so.
But
I believe.
Hopefully you will be able to understand the next one, even if she thinks different from me, just a little bit easier. I hope I made that easier.
Absolutely. This is beautiful. I pray this was beneficial to everybody who watched because I know for a fact it was beneficial to me. And of course, y'all go ahead and follow Flame on every single platform. Hopefully it will stay up after this. And I think I'm just glad I know it will.
And season 3 of Laughing
Please.
has started with under the Black Effect Network on iHeart, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, or wherever you listen to your podcast. I'm on my 3rd season of Laugh and Learn. Politics, hodgepodge, come and get it. If you don't want the real, don't come.
Come on now, you already know what this is. Rizza Isam Intellectual Xtremist Podcast, and we will see you next time. Peace.
Boom.
Bam.
Wonder Twin Powers, the